Trustee Lewis,
Present.
Trustee Franklin,
Present.
Trustee Bolden, Trustee Franklin, I'm sorry, Trustee Bolden,
Present.
Trustee McFadden,
Present.
Trustee Jenkins Bell,
Present.
Trustee Brooks,
Present.
Mayor Rudez.
I'm here, Madam Clerk.
Also, for the record, also present at this meeting is Village Manager Ernestine Beck Fulcom. Missy.
Present.
Village Attorney Joe Miller.
Here, present.
And recording. Dorothy Jones, Village Clerk. And Neva Jenkins, Community Relations.
Here.
Okay.
Okay,
Madam Clerk, may I say something? Before
You
our
have that-
meeting begins?
As the mayor.
Mr. Mayor, can I say something before we start our meeting?
give me 1 second. Let's do our Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll come.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of the United
Of the
States
United
of
States
America
of America,
and to the
to
republic
the republic,
for which it
For
stands,
to stand,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty
liberty
and justice.
and justice for all.
For all.
Okay, go right ahead, Trustee McFadden. Then I'll read our disclaimer. We'll go right ahead.
Okay, I would just like to thank Mayor Rudez, Claudia Webb, and the Board of Trustees for this beautiful flower they sent me for the loss of my mother. It's the wind chime and flowers, and I just love it. So I just want to thank you guys. I really appreciate your calls, texts, and checking on me during the loss of my mom. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Trustee McFadden. And you know what? No matter what our differences are, we all have family members that we do love. So we all come together to support each other. And if you haven't gone through it, you're gonna go through it. So we have to support you.
All right, thank you. Thank you all.
All right. Pursuant to Governor Pritzker's Executive Order 2020-07, COVID-19 Executive Order number 5, as amended, which suspends the requirement of the Illinois Open Meetings Act requiring in-person attendance by members of a public body during the duration of the gubernatorial disaster proclamation. The members of the village board will not be physically present for the designated board meetings, but will instead be participating in the meeting through audio access using a virtual meeting platform. Public comments may be submitted in advance of the meeting to Village Clerk D. Jones at djones@university-park-il.com or by text message to 708-473-6201. All comments must be received by 5 p.m. the day before the meeting. In order to give proper consideration to all items on this agenda, the mayor will limit participants in a debate and will close off protracted, repetitive, irrelevant, or abusive remarks. Public comments will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, do we have general public comments, please?
Yes, we did. I received 4 emails with public comments, and I will read them in the order I received them. The first one is general public comments received from Gina Williams, January 10th at 10:15 a.m. And it reads as follows. Good evening, everyone. My concern is, when will Chief Wilson be reinstated? You all are jeopardizing our safety. Why was she placed on administrative leave? Why wasn't the proper protocol followed? Why was Bradley given access to everything when he hadn't even been sworn in. Who allows that? Why do certain trustees spend every waking moment at Village Hall, hence Miss E's office? Why was the mayor so quick to try and replace Wilson? What was he really up to? Why does Miss E lack credibility? She lied about filling Pine Lake with fresh fish. She lied about repairing Abbott and Amherst. There was no reason to do Farm View first. Do you all even play with a full deck? Then there was the lie about the private donor giving the village manager money. Please stop already. You helped yourself to our tax dollars, and the finance director allowed it. You and the mayor brought us this bogus golf company whom you went through great lengths to protect. Why? That's okay. The truth will be revealed. What's done in the dark will come to light. On to another pressing matter, Aqua. There is still lead in the water, and now they expect us to pay for bad water. Really? There's no such thing as safe levels of lead. Lead can lead to brain damage, heart, and other bodily organs. It will soon be 3 years, and we're still no closer to getting the problem permanently resolved. Why? Aqua changed our water source from well water to the Kankakee River after numerous complaints from the residents. However, we never intended for them to add chemicals like orthophosphate, which stripped lead from the pipes and went directly into our system. Our health is still at risk. What are you all going to do about it? Stop with these bogus deals and give us safe water, streets that are paved and free from potholes. Rid us of the rotten trees and get us a real grocery store. Enough with the factories and warehouses. We are a college town. Act like it. Spending our money with little to nothing to show for it doesn't cut it. It's time for new leadership. Do like Michael Jackson said and beat it. Respectfully, Gina Williams. The second comment is titled Questions for January 11th, 2022 meeting. I received this from Vivian Covington, January 10th, 2022 at 4:51 p.m. And it reads, Happy New Year, Clerk D. Jones, board and staff. I am aware of the Chicago Mass Transit Authority being discontinued with University Park. Was aware a month ago. Why is it being presented so late to the board? The Chicago Mass Transit Authority officially removed their website on December 31st, 2021. With that being said, and understanding the functionality of this organization, what are your plans? They had a system in place called Park Mobile. Will the village retain their services? If not, what mechanism or applications will we work with now? Have you done your financial analysis on exactly how much revenue this will generate for the village, with us having 2 very large parking lots? Also, while doing your financial analysis, what's the cost of security and maintenance. How will that impact our police, fire, and public works departments? Are we looking at the other municipals and what they are doing? I would hope the funds will be used and accounted for in the current budget. Number three.
I'll have a response at the next meeting for that after I meet with the other mayors. Ms. Covington, thank you so much for your comments and concern.
The third one is from Deborah J. Stroud. It's regarding 2021 history made in University Park. Dated January 10th, 2022. Happy New Year 2022. Good evening to the mayor, board of trustees, clerk, treasurer, village manager, and village residents. On December 24th, 2021, Santa continued his tradition, which began on December 24th, 2020, by visiting homes of children throughout the village. Although Santa wore masks with his beard and snow on the ground was replaced by a 50-degree Fahrenheit night, it did not stop him from bringing joy and cheer to children and adults as well. The smiles that adults had from hearing a child say, "This is the best Christmas ever," or a child giving Santa an elf drawing from school so he would not be out alone, is unforgettably priceless. Santa was very grateful to the parents that didn't think it was wise to enter the house knowing their daughter was under the weather, not feeling well. Luckily, the ring bell viewed the next day showed that Santa did drop off something, not inside the house. Santa enjoys doing these home deliveries annually to provide that much needed joy and good cheer to children and adults to experience. Since 2019, locally and globally, COVID-19 continues to show us the unknown of what to expect as the new norm of life. Let us try to bring joy and good cheer to each other when we can, while we can, and how we can. Stay safe, stay prayed up, and stay masked. Have a great year. Deborah J. Stroud. Now, she did send in some pictures that I will just, I don't know, can you see these?
Nope.
Okay. Oh. Well, I did include them, did I not, in your packets? But there are some pictures of Santa going to some homes in the village.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, I just want to say I didn't get this Christmas call, but if anybody can get Santa number and let Santa know, drop by next Christmas to come see the grandbaby.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right.
If Santa's listening, I didn't get you this Christmas. I must have been bad, but can you stop by next Christmas like you did the Christmas before? Thank you.
Duly noted.
Okay. Now, this is the fourth comment for Village Hall meeting received from Mildred Morgan. It was received January 10th, 2022 at 5:26 p.m. That's when I turned my computer back on. Please consider this constructive criticism. You have failed this village in the worst way possible. I won't go into details that you're already aware of. I just ask for your resignation ASAP. so we can heal as a village. The gloom and doom of the alleged sexual harassment about you. You lied about a donor during the budget meeting. You took funds and gave it out to staff, paying yourself $3,500. You suspended our police chief for doing her job. You haven't mumbled a word or done anything about Aqua. Do you know right from wrong? Please help us by resigning today, because if you don't, that means your actions toward this village is intentional. Miss Millie, January 10th, 2022. That ends the public comments that I received.
Madam Clerk and Mayor, may I make a comment about something, something that happened a couple of meetings ago I wanted to address, and since I haven't been there personally, I haven't had a chance to talk to the person specifically.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Mayor?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was muted. Certainly, Joe, Attorney Meadow, yes.
This is for Ms. Morgan. A couple of meetings ago, she had indicated that she had talked to someone from the state's attorney's office, and they had said that FOIA, a request under the Freedom of Information Act, is only valid for 60 days. And I'm like, that's not true. So I'm going to modify the answer. The answer still, I still agree that that's not true. But for purposes of the public, I think what they were trying to tell her is that for purposes of the public access counselor, they will not review anything that's older than 60 days. It doesn't stop someone from just resubmitting the same request. So that's so to start a new 60 days. But I think that's what they were referring to, because it's still, we were talking about it and no one agrees with that. But for purposes of the public access counselor, you have to have something submitted within 60 days. So I think that's what what they were referring to with Ms. Morgan. I just want to get that clarified so that that issue is clarified. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Okay. So on the discussion business items, we're going to strike item 5.1A. John Kasparic will not make his presentation today. I'll talk to the board members and see what their schedule's like so we can have a meeting with Mr. Kasparic. It's very important. Now, item 5.1B is a resolution recognizing and approving the execution of a special warranty deed as a result of the dissolution, the Chicago South Suburban Mass Transit District pursuant to Public Act 102-0248. So the discussion, Manager E, would you like to lead them in the discussion as far as the warranty deed is?
Mayor, let me say that the state by law, in fact, implemented it effective January 1, and we're strictly talking about the parking lot now, and all the occurrences with the parking lot is turned over to the Barnes and Thornburg LLP is the legal firm that's handling. But what's happening is they're going to have to do their financial summary and analysis, pay the outstanding bills. But what we've had to do thus far is alert the towing company that they're no longer the contractor as such. So the state and the Chicago South Suburban Mass Transit Authority yet have a few things that they have to get straight. So we're in fact trying to help them along in terms of removal of sign, making sure persons pay accordingly, getting the site set up for payments, getting locks changed on the boxes. Some folk pay by boxes, other pay by. So we're doing some administrative things. Public Works, in fact, initially shoveled the parking lot at the onset of the snow. So we've had to, in a fast pace, just do a startup very fast, but we've been working on it every day since we've been alerted that we were responsible for it.
All right,
So,
and
to the board with a plan. We're also working with Metra So I'll be back with the board with a plan once this is completed. It should be very.
Yes,
So-
and just for the record, there are a few items that are still undecided on whose responsibility it's going to be. That's trying to sort that out right now. So we'll come up with the solution by the end of the month. Not a solution, but we'll know exactly what belongs to the village and what's our responsibility opposed to Metro and everyone else. Trustee Shirley Bolden.
Yeah, meanwhile, what are they going to do? Because there's a park mobile that I sent you the contact person, and are we going to implement that? Because meanwhile, there's some people are still putting money in those slots because they're afraid they're going to be told who's collecting that and who's responsible for doing all of that right now. Because right now we're talking about to the next meeting. That's almost another month, well, 2 weeks. And so what's the status right now? Like you said, I know you said you're going through some administrative stuff right now, but as far as the parking slots and who's collecting that?
We're working out, we're using a police officer. We're still using this police officer for traffic. We're trying to convert the sign online into the village's online payment. So that's being developed as we speak. It should be completed. So we're making the transitions. Right now, we're not issuing any tickets. People are putting their monies in the box, and we're trying to deal with that. So it's moving, it's transitioning, but a lot of people are used to using that company. But that company shut down December 31. So we're trying to convert it to our own pay online.
Okay, so we got somebody working on that as we speak.
Yes.
Are there signs out there that saying you will not be told?
Pardon? Well, we're getting signs up now, transitioning signs from our current contractor. We're taking ER down and we're coordinating with them to make them understand. We just sent them information today on the state legislation. That's what they were waiting on. So they contacted us. We sent the information to them, but we're transitioning. We're taking down those signs, putting up the new signs. So it's going. It's moving. Yes.
The
village has contract.
Go ahead, Shirley. Go ahead, Shirley. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Shirley. Yeah, go ahead, Shirley.
And also, I have a person, we can talk offline about that actually worked for the Suburban Mass Transit. And she, in fact, I called her, and that's how I got a lot of the details on the whole situation. So, yeah, we can kind of talk with her as a consultant, because she was in the thick of it, of all this transitioning. So
they see, we don't want to get involved because it's just the opposite. They're working with some financial things. They're going to have to clear out some of these contracts. So they still have some outstanding debts that the village want to make sure that we don't absorb.
exactly.
So,
and what portion will be coming to us?
Yeah, but that's why I mentioned Barnes and Thornburg. That's what they're working out now.
Yeah. All right. Trustee Shirley, you finished?
I'm good.
Trustee
I'm
Brooks,
finished.
Yeah, Miss E, I think maybe, I don't know if Trustee Bolden called the same individual I did. I spoke with someone because I too wanted to get some clarity on this. And I kind of got a different perspective of the role of the village. It is to my understanding, yes, this on November 22nd, 2020, it was most definitely that you were sent an email that would explain that, and then actually the Board of Trustees should have received this formal letter that said discontinuance of the CCSMTD, which would be the Chicago South Suburban Mass Transit District University Park commuter parking lots. And from what I learned, that on November 22nd, it clearly relates that this act that would be taking place, that naturally right now we're going to be handling the deed of this. But on January 1st, it tells you effective January 1st, this will belong to the village of University Park to handle. Now, the reason why, I kind of object to some of the things that are being said here, because clearly from my understanding tonight in the phone conversation is that this is very important for the village. And I don't think we were prepared for it because there are a lot of things that occurred since the first. And I mean, my question to you is that did we even get the insurance for that parking lot? I need to know, because that was definitely needed to be taken care of. There is a money box. And unfortunately, like I said, the conversation occurred tonight, but I will check and see if it's the old money box that I can remember. You need
It is.
people. It is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with Shirley. Someone is supposed to collect that money daily. Now, the lady said also is that we are in charge of taking over collecting the money that's also going to be within the machine. So some people use a debit card to do it. The grass and the snow will also be our responsibility. The lighting is now our responsibility.
Yes, trustee.
Yes, and the biggest thing on there too is that turnaround that I know that definitely is going to have to be in the budget. She explains the cost of that turnaround that's going to have to be resurfaced. So in saying that, Ms. E, the only thing that, and actually that was going to be my next call, is how much money the village is going to get, because at this point, the $800 that we used to get for the officer being out there, we're not going to get anymore. And I understand that this was an agreement that was done back. She told me, what was it, July 19th, 2019, that this was brought up. What was this, Mayor? How you say it? Braun Burke? Am I saying it right? Burke, for the president for Olympia Fields.
Stony Burke.
Right. So here it was put in here that they wanted to begin the dissolution of that district. So I mean, nothing was followed here. Most definitely, Miss Ian, and I don't think this should not be a keep-up plan, or excuse me, to catch-up plan. This has been something that we should have been in preparation of since November 22nd. And to my understanding, Miss E, is that all the trustees, because it's here at the bottom of the email, the trustees were supposed to receive it. And I just went through my whole email, and I don't understand why it was not disseminated among the trustees. So,
hey, Trustee Brooks, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
what date did you say? What date? What was the date that you said?
which one? On which letter? The one, which letter? I got two of them here.
Was one dated December 28th?
No, the one I got, Mayor, they sent it to you
On November
on November 22nd, 2021. And I asked the lady, why is it that why we didn't know? Because this is a little surprise to us, because that means we would have to, find funds for this. And she said, no, it was very clear and very, well instructed that the mayor, the clerk was only sent it for her records. It's not her duty to send it out. That's what she said. So it was not. It was definitely not. Yes, it was not the mayor. It was not the clerk. Yeah, it was not her responsibility to deal with that. It was for the village. And she said, basically, she told me that it was nothing else we can do, because I told her, I said, well, what about preparation of salt? She said it's already done. So, I mean, Miss E, one question I do have tonight: insurance. Who is the insurance covered? Because if somebody falls right now, we're not covered. We need to deal with it. who's collecting the daily money out the daily box is my main concern. Who has the key to the daily box? And,
Right.
and no one has it. When will it start being collected? I'm
Exactly.
assuming you addressed the snow issue. And we can talk about the turnaround, and that's probably like 2 years. She said at least 2 years from now, but that was something done with Pace, if I'm not mistaken, that it was done. So if we can please, find out at least at minimum why we were not, why was this not even brought to the board's attention?
So,
And
so
actually, the mayor came in May. So this was July 19, 2019. So this was a proposal,
Mhm.
right? / response. You probably know what I'm talking about, Mayor. It was Mr. Burke, and also who else? I can't say
It was
his name.
it was myself, Mayor Hopefield, Mayor Clark from Harvey.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
So-
And
Go
so
ahead.
right. So we're not prepared for this.
Mhm.
So if you can please, let's if at minimum, let's at least, because Trustee Bolden, we always right here. She came with them questions, and I was right there on that one too. If we can get this right, find out, because if someone slip and fall tomorrow morning, we're in trouble.
Okay. So I've got a question and a comment for the board. Now, the letter I received was December 28th. Now, when the manager speaks about the allocation of funds and distribution back, now the letter states, further, we interpret this provision to require distribution of funds in a pro rata manner, but these excluded municipalities included Homewood, Olympia Fields, University Park. Similarly, no Metro electric track runs through the village of Dixmoor, so it will not receive a distribution of funds either. So we're not scheduled to receive a distribution of funds.
No, but she said that and that part, I'm glad you're on that one, because that was my next one. Like, where's our money? Because I agree, we're supposed to get our money, but she said everything else belongs to the Village University Park. Insurance, snow blowing, grass cutting, lighting, the collecting of the money, and which I would assume that we definitely, if we're not in that machine collecting that money from Metro, we're losing revenue.
Yes.
And we need to find how to, tomorrow morning, we need to be on the phone collecting, getting with somebody who can put that machine in there, or whatever we need to do. Because she did say that people have complained about the takeover. And so actually today is the 11th, so we're 11 days behind.
10 days into, 10 days.
Right.
So this action was like you were saying, Theo, this action was proposed when I first got in office. There was conversations. I went to a couple of meetings, but the action was actually taking place in Springfield because it had to pass through both House and the Senate, and it passed through both houses unanimously in order to make this legislation come forward. And I think that passed in November, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the bill number right here, but this is like an air flight with a little turbulence, but in the long run, the village will work. And I do think that we have highly qualified IT people. I think that we should be able to develop our own app and have our own accounts. And I agree that we cannot afford to miss any bit of revenue.
Yeah, well,
Like I
we
said,
need to update, I think we need to update those old parking meters, and maybe we can go some smart apps and things of that nature, because we don't even know if the keys are active or what's going on. That's things in there.
That's my point, right? Because they're in there, and I guess they're studying putting money in there.
Yeah.
And there's probably a pile of money in there, and I just feel that if we know that, and to my understanding, she said that this looked like it was going to go that way. I felt we should have been a little better prepared, before we did this, because we're in a little pickle at this point where I think the police officer, he's a part-timer. He's been doing it forever, so that's not a rock. The salt, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have, the snow is not coming down like it should, so I think we're prepared for that part. But everything else we need to be prepared for.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
Theo, And I know I was mentioning that to the manager today about updating the parking boxes and getting some technology in there. I don't know how long that they're going to continue to fold up dollars and insert them in the parking box. So yeah. So
Somebody should be getting that key ASAP.
Yeah. And also there's still some.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
So
finish.
could I please say,
Yeah, let me finish.
yes,
Martha.
that
Let me
has
finish.
been,
Hey, let me finish, Ernestine. There's still some undecided items with the mass transit district, according to see who's going to be responsible for a couple of other items in the metro station. So everything isn't finalized as far as responsibilities as of yet, but we're very, very close.
And
And
then
like-
just one,
Like
Yeah.
the first day that this
I got
happened,
you,
I called the
Trustee
mayor.
Sonia.
Oh,
Pardon
okay.
me?
First day this happened, I remember I started getting the calls and I
Yeah,
called you and the village manager and said, like you said, this was back, one of the letters was from November 22nd. And at that point, we knew something. We should have been proactive. And I said this to you and to Ms.
Yes.
E, that we should have been proactive knowing that this was coming up. Because that first morning after Christmas and all those folks went going to work, no apps working, not even the metro, which has nothing to do with us. It was a big mess up there that morning. So that's how it came to my attention. And then I knew some people that, like I said, had worked for Chicago South Suburban, and I started making some calls and they gave me the whole scoop on what it should have been prepared. And like I said, University Park is always lagging behind on stuff, and we need to step up on this and other things that's coming to forefront and not wait till it hit us in the face and then we scrambling around trying to find a solution. So I'm through, Mayor.
I'm good. That's good. That's all right, Trustee. Does it, Trustee Sonia?
My question is to Trustee, Trustee Bolden. She's been really involved in this, and I wanted to know, with the Antero Group being our engineers, did they give you a benefit, what is a cost benefit analysis? And if so, what was it? Because I'm trying to see, how is this beneficial? Is this going to be beneficial to the village in what way? Are we going to lose or are we going to win? I mean, because when I'm looking at the document, because I received the document as well, and they are stating that we have a lot to do. I mean, you know, we have to pave the lot, if we have to repair the lot, shovel.
Well, it was just
salt,
paid, thank God, both sides.
and paint and all of like that. With the money, is the money going to be, is it going to compensate for the work that we're doing? So if we're paying for parking fees, is it going to be beneficial to us to take care of the maintenance as well as take care of the staff that has to do it? And with us being taxed with staff, we don't have a lot of staff with our public works department. Are we putting something in place to ensure that the riders are taken care of doing their, you know, their commute from the city and back? Because one thing we don't want to do is lose ridership. We don't want to do that, because if they feel it's not,
Right now, the East Park is open.
they'll go to Richmond Park, which is cheaper
Right.
anyway,
It's cheaper.
when you go to that station to go downtown to the, you know, to the loop. So my question to Shirley, Ms. Bolden, Trustee Bolden, is, did the Ontario Group give you a benefit, a cost benefit analysis? And if so, can you forward it to us?
No, I do not have a cost benefit, but they have, we already know about the Metro Reconstruction Phase 1, but I don't have any cost benefits broken down. Ms. E may have something further, but it was on part of their agenda that when we do meet with them, that Metro Reconstruction Phase 1 engineer, and there are some things they're preparing to do right now, but it has nothing to do with the need right now.
The immediate.
E can go further details with that.
I questioned Mrs. E in reference to this prior to the meeting tonight, and she told me that they needed a parcel of land for their conductors, or they want to build something. So we need to know, I mean, it's not in the resolution on how much land, where they're gonna put it, and are we responsible for maintaining it, or is Metro gonna maintain it? So I
That would
wanted
be
to know-
that would be the sole as trustee. I'm sorry, even though you weren't directing it to me, but I've been engaged with the conversations.
Okay.
It would be the sole responsibility of Metro, because my understanding is that's going to be they want to. There's a piece of land that belongs to the Metro, and they want to construct some kind of small substation, or where the drivers and conductors may congregate, or something of that nature. I don't have all the specifics right now. It's just conversation.
So how much land do they want? I mean,
No, they own a parcel. They own a parcel. Yes, they own. Yeah, the land they want to do. It's their land. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's their land that they want to do their the little shed at, or whatever, their weight station, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, yeah.
So to address you, Sonia, I haven't got any benefits from Intero Group as yet, but I do know we are in the process of talking as to what's going to be done there, but that's as far as I know right now. And then I had to get off the call today because I did go get my surgery. So
yeah,
and so it's safe to say that this deal is already done and done.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It was done in Springfield. It had nothing to do with us.
Well,
we had not, it was done in
So
Springfield.
and another question was it an option? Did we have an option to,
No.
how did they come up with just picking University Park, Homewood, and whoever else?
Because these are the one that the tracks actually go through, I believe. Mayor, you can address it.
You're right, Shirley. You're right.
Because from what I understand, these are the stations that the tracks actually go through. Now, I think Dixmoor was one of them that it didn't go through.
Right, but see,
and
remember, go ahead, because only a small portion of these tracks belong to Metro, because these railroads are run by CNN Railroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, there's a work in progress, and trustee, everybody's wondering about, we just look at a visionary and look at the future. Everyone knows we have like 34.9 million for redevelopment of the Metro Station. Phase 1 of engineering is over already. What phase 1 consists of is environmental and land and wetlands and things of that nature. So now they're going to phase 2. And I'm quite sure with all of us and you guys, we can implement some ideas and make that a fantastic train station in the future. So yeah, I can see it as a benefit in the future. Might not benefit us right now, but in the future, it's going to benefit the whole region and the area.
And they are also, in one of the discussions, they had talking about putting like a little coffee shop down there.
Coffee shops and restaurants.
And doing, in the winter when they're going through there and you hot chocolate and stuff. So that was one of the issues that we discussed as well, Sonia. Everybody, and not only Sonia.
Yeah. Something like Theo, like similar to Homewood Station, but I would look more at the Tinley Park Station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the insurance, if we can go with insurance, I definitely
I got you, Trustee Franklin. I got.
I can answer the insurance
and I would
question.
think,
Okay.
I would think that it would go into our property and casualty, but we'll have to
Correct.
make sure, as you said, we want to make sure we're covered. Theo. Trustee Franklin.
I was going to ask about the property and casualty too. I think you kind of cleared that up, but I also want to clear up. It's some misconceptions out there that we had the option on this situation. So I think that's already been cleared up as well. Just to state for the record, we didn't have an option whether to or not. So I mean, we are behind. I agree with that, but I think it's important we put our heads together and make the best out of the situation. Mayor, I heard that you said you're going to be networking with some of the other mayors. I think that's going to be a good opportunity. So you guys can put your heads together and kind of figure out what's going to be the best plan of action. But I think I would definitely agree with Brooks that the insurance piece is the most urgent piece. Yeah. So we can definitely get that situated, and then we just got to put our heads together and make it work. You know what I mean? It's something that we didn't have an option with. It did happen in Springfield. I did a little research on it. We just got to make it work.
Yeah. It might be a little turbulence now, but in the long run, it'll be a smooth flight for the future.
Yeah.
So for the insurance, it's just as the mayor said, you just contact the property and casualty insurance company.
Add additional property.
And add an additional property. They may want to wait until we actually have the recorded deed, which you don't yet, but that shouldn't be a hindrance to any coverage if there's any incidents. So we have governmental entities that buy properties all the time, and that's what happens.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That's
And-
what
and-
we're waiting on.
And we all know that land is very important. So that's a great opportunity. No one can take that away from us. It'll be here way after our existence. All right. So is that any more comments regarding the metro station, guys? Yes, Madam Clerk.
Well, oh, I thought I heard the.
No,
Unmute.
Madam Clerk, Madam Clerk, but she's muted. So do you have to unmute yourself?
Yes, can we find out about that money, please? Tomorrow. No, I mean, because I mean, from experience from when I was in Harvey, if that I don't know who's familiar with it, that thing can fill up with money so fast. If you're not
And then they
collecting,
start writing tickets, and then you got to
Yeah.
go to court in the town.
yeah,
Mhm,
So if
mhm.
we don't collect the money, the box builds up. You can't put any dollars in the box because I'm a Metro rider.
You're a commuter,
Can't put
right?
any
Yeah.
money in the box. And if
Yep.
your space is not paid and pulled out, you'll get a ticket and you got to go to court, which is, I don't know what time we would have court in the town to finalize, when the officer writes the ticket for you that you didn't pay in the box, which is a $50 ticket, literally.
But
Right.
like he said, I don't think they're gonna be, they're not gonna be writing tickets right now, are they?
Right. I don't,
Miss E?
is that,
Okay. We're getting keys made. Those keys cannot be found. We're getting,
Of course not.
so they're making keys to each one of those boxes. They're updating them. So to
Wow.
answer the question, we've just been holding on issuing the ticket.
So
it's not
meanwhile, they're still stuffing the money down in that slot. You can't get to it right now.
And you can only stuff so much.
Oh, I
But
know
it's-
it was going down trying to get
Point.
orders.
But it's being monitored. I assure you it's being monitored.
Okay, as long as it's being monitored, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
So those-
if that's it, and you know what? It's a good problem to have excess land because everybody else's landlocked. So we're expanding. So if that is it for the committee of the whole meeting, I would ask for a motion to adjourn and go into an executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Franklin, second,
Second.
second by Brooks. All in favor? No.
For purposes-
Hold on. That's a motion to go into closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, performance of specific employees of the Village of University Park, litigation pending and probable, or the sale or lease of, and setting of the price of the sale or lease of property by the village.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Thank you, Tony Miller. Madam Clerk? Is that what
Trustee
you-
Lewis? No,
Okay.
that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
What'd you say?
She's on roll call.
Oh,
To go into closed session.
Yes.
Yeah,
Your vote?
vote aye. I'm sorry.
Trustee Franklin,
Both sides.
trustee Bolton,
votes aye.
trustee McFadden,
Both sides.
trustee Jenkins Bell,
Votes aye.
trustee Brooks,
Vote aye.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye, Madam Clerk.
It is now 7:49 p.m.